It wasn't that long ago that Meta bet its entire future, even its name, on the metaverse. But after burning through tens of billions of dollars with, well, not much to show for it, the company has made an absolutely stunning pivot. So today, we're going to break down Meta's massive strategic shift from those virtual worlds to the incredibly high-stakes race for artificial intelligence.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with that initial grand vision for the metaverse. Then we'll get into the harsh financial reality that forced a major change. We'll chart the company's big pivot to AI, look at the chaotic back and forth around its flagship app, and finally, we'll uncover the sheer scale of Meta's new multi-billion-dollar bet. So let's rewind. The vision was so huge, so all-encompassing, it led to one of the most famous corporate rebrands ever. Facebook became Meta. This was it. This was the company's all-in bet on the metaverse, a chance to build its very own computing platform and finally break free from the grip of Apple and Google. And that mission came straight from the top. Mark Zuckerberg saw the metaverse as way more than just a new product. To him, it was the next core computing platform, a whole new economic engine that he believed would be worth, and do you see it right there, trillions. Now, to chase that trillion-dollar dream, Meta poured an almost unbelievable amount of cash into its Reality Labs division. Just think about that number for a second. $80 billion, all of it dedicated to building the hardware and the software for this new virtual frontier. So what exactly was this future they were trying to build? Well, it was the idea of a persistent, shared virtual world, a digital space where you could hang out with your friends, jump into a meeting, or play some games, all through a VR headset, feeling totally immersed and present.
But that utopian dream, it very quickly collided with a harsh, cold financial reality. To put it simply, the numbers just weren't working, and that's putting it mildly.
Just look at the staggering difference in scale here. In just the last 3 months of 2025, Meta's core apps, we're talking Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they brought in nearly $59 billion. In that same period, the entire Metaverse division, it made less than $1 billion. But it gets so much worse. That revenue came at an enormous cost. The division actually posted an operating loss of $6 billion. Let me put it another way. For every single dollar Meta earned from the metaverse, it was losing more than 6. And this wasn't just one bad quarter, not at all. Since 2021, the whole Metaverse project had bled over $70 billion in total losses. It was a massive, sustained financial drain with no clear path to ever turning a profit. So, faced with these eye-watering losses and a brand new tech gold rush on the horizon, Meta did a complete 180. The Metaverse was out and artificial intelligence was in. The company's entire focus just shifted on a dime. Gone was the dream of immersive VR worlds for everybody, and in its place was a much more practical, maybe less sexy vision using AI to develop superintelligence, build tools to make employees more efficient, and, this is the big one, supercharge its core advertising business. See, this AI strategy is all about rewiring the company from the inside out. Zuckerberg himself is reportedly using a personal AI agent to get information faster. Employees are using internal tools like MyClaw to help debug code or something called Second Brain to summarize really long documents. The whole goal is to create a leaner, meaner, AI-first organization. And nothing captured the sheer confusion of this pivot better than the very strange saga of Meta's flagship app, Horizon Worlds.
For one absolutely chaotic week in March of 2026, the Metaverse dream looked officially dead. Meta announced it was shutting down the VR version of Horizon Worlds. But after a swift and pretty furious backlash from its community, the company suddenly slammed on the brakes and reversed course. So, what was the official reason? Well, it came directly from Meta's CTO, Andrew Bosworth. He claimed the reversal was a direct response to a passionate user community who were, in his words, adamant about keeping their virtual worlds online.
The final compromise really revealed Meta's new direction. Okay, fine. Existing VR games would stay online, but the company made it crystal clear all future development for Horizon would be focused almost exclusively on mobile, where they could chase a vastly larger audience. So where does all of this leave Meta today? Well, it seems it has swapped one incredibly expensive bet for another, one that might be even bigger. Take a look at this number. This is Meta's projected capital spending for 2026 alone. up to $135 billion. To put that into perspective for you, that's more in a single year than the company spent chasing the metaverse dream across multiple years combined.
What this signals is nothing short of a strategic blitz. Meta is aggressively front-loading its investment, building these massive data centers to basically hoard the raw computing power it believes is essential to win the global race for AI dominance.
Which brings us to the final critical question. We've seen Meta go all in before, a bet that ended in tens of billions of dollars in losses. So now, with an even larger investment on the line, is this AI pivot the move that finally redeems the company's vision? Or is it just the next trillion-dollar gamble?